Now, to answer question 24, we need to use the formulas that are given to us to help us through this exam. And we're looking at the triangle formulas down here. And we're not going to need the sine rule in this question. We need the area of a triangle formula, which is here, and we need the cosine rule for the second part. Okay, so I'll be writing them out on these solutions, and that's where we find them if we don't remember them. So we're asked to find out the area of a triangle, and we can find out the area of a triangle by using the formula 1/2 times AB sine C. Now, C has to be this angle is 75 degrees. It's called an included angle. It's included between 5 and 8, and that would be my B. Opposite my A is my side A, and I've got angle C. So if I drop the numbers into the formula, this will equal 1/2 times 8 times 5 times sine of 75 degrees. So all I need to do is to tap that through a calculator, and I will get the area of the triangle. So I'll put that in front of you. So it starts with 0.5 times 8 times 5 times the sine of 75 degrees, and that comes to 19.32. Now I'll look to see what it asked for. It said 3 significant figures, so I'm going to want 19. I'll write down 19.318516. So on. I only want 3 significant figures, so it's 19. Just check that the 3 doesn't need to be rounded up. It doesn't, and there's your answer. And although they say they're not drawn accurately, this is reasonably accurate. That looks about 5, that looks about 8. Maybe that's a bit not quite so accurate, but 19.3, does it look completely wrong? I would say no, it doesn't. In fact, if you had your protractor with you and you drew it out, you'd see it would be 75, would probably be a bit steep when it come to there. So 19.3 looks okay. If it come out as 3 or 1.93 or something like silly like that, you should realise you've made a mistake. Right, on to the second part. On the second part, I've got to find the length AB. Now, the finding lengths, we can find length using the cosine rule or the sine rule. Now, we would want to use the sine rule if possible, but for the sine rule, you need to have a pair. You need to have the angle and the opposite side. We don't have that. So we're going to need the cosine rule here, and I'll write that out for you. The c squared, that's what we're trying to find, okay, equals a squared plus b squared minus 2bc cos a. So these numbers drop in nicely. We've got c squared equals 8 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 8 times 5 times cos 75 degrees. So I will now tap that through my calculator. So I've got, so we can pull that up so we can see this. So we have got 8 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 8 times 5 times cos 75. Now, when you see that answer of 68.29, you might start thinking, well, that can't be right. It can't be that length there. So, in fact, on this problem, I've just realised I made a big mistake earlier talking to you about this 19.3. The 19.3 was the area. Okay, the 19.3 was the area of the triangle, and I made a complete mistake there in talking to you about it as though it were the length C. In fact, just going back to this, we can see that this is roughly a 5 by 8 rectangle, and half of that would be close to 20. So that 19.3 looks absolutely right. So coming back to this, so 68, you might look at that and think, well, it can't be 68, but of course I've got to remember that I've got to take the square of the 68. So 68.2944. That would be enough, really. So to find the length, I've got to take the square root of 68.2944. So the square root then of that is 68.2944. And that comes to 8.26. Well, it comes to 8.2640. So to 3 significant figures, it's 8.26. So I apologise for that error earlier on. I am doing this very quickly, as we anticipate these to be the questions on your exam paper tomorrow. 19.3, 8.26.